The truth about Israel and Palestine that no one talks about. Most people think they understand the Israel-Palestine conflict, but in reality, everything you know is probably wrong. Let's break down the facts. No bias, just straight history. 1. There was no empty land. Before Israel was established in 1948, Palestine wasn't some barren wasteland. It was home to around 1.3 million Palestinian Arabs, plus Jewish and Christian communities who had been living there for centuries. The idea that it was empty land waiting to be claimed is just not true. Fun fact, people already living in a place usually don't consider it empty. Weird, right? 2. The British promised the same land to 3 different groups. During World War I, the British told the Arabs, "Help us fight the Ottomans and we'll give you independence." Then they told the Jews, "We support a Jewish homeland in Palestine." Then they secretly told France, "Hey, let's just split the Middle East between us." This is what happens when you let colonial powers solve things. 3. The UN partition plan was rejected by both sides. In 1947, the UN proposed splitting Palestine into 2 states, one Jewish, one Arab. Jews accepted it, but many didn't like the borders. Arabs rejected it, arguing that it gave 56% of the land to Jews, even though they made up only 33% of the population. Imagine your landlord giving 56% of your apartment to a new roommate who just moved in. You'd probably be upset too. 4. 750,000 Palestinians were displaced in 1948. After Israel declared independence in 1948, war broke out. As a result, around 750,000 Palestinians were expelled or fled their homes. This event is known as the Nakba, meaning catastrophe in Arabic. Imagine losing your home and then being told it never really belonged to you in the first place. 5. Israel took more land than originally planned. By the end of the 1948 war, Israel controlled 78% of historic Palestine, more than what the UN originally allocated. Jordan took the West Bank and Egypt controlled Gaza. That 2-state solution was looking rough from the start. 6. The 1967 war changed everything. In just 6 days, Israel defeated Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, taking over the West Bank, Gaza, East Jerusalem, the Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights. Palestinians in these territories have been under military occupation ever since. When a war lasts less time than your Amazon Prime delivery, you know it was intense. 7. There are Jewish and Palestinian refugees, but they're treated differently. Hundreds of thousands of Jewish refugees fled or were expelled from Arab countries after 1948, just like Palestinian refugees fled from Israel. But while Israel gave Jewish refugees citizenship, Palestinians are still stateless in many countries with no right to return. One group got passports, the other got refugee camps. 8. Settlements in the West Bank are illegal but keep expanding. Under international law, Israeli settlements in the West Bank are considered illegal, but that hasn't stopped them from growing. Today, over 700,000 Israeli settlers live in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Imagine someone setting up a tent in your backyard and saying, "Actually, this is mine now." That's basically what's happening. 9. Gaza is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Gaza has about 2.3 million people living in an area smaller than Detroit, and it's under blockade by Israel and Egypt. Most of its residents are descendants of refugees from 1948. Imagine being trapped in a city where you can't leave, can't import basic goods freely, and electricity gets cut daily. That's life in Gaza. 10. Most people just want to live in peace. Despite everything, polls show that most Israelis and Palestinians just want a peaceful solution. But politicians, extremists, and foreign powers keep fueling the fire for their own interests. Because let's be honest, peace doesn't make money, war does. So what now? If you're waiting for an easy solution, there isn't one. But the first step is understanding history beyond what politicians and social media tell you. So, did any of these facts surprise you? Let me know in the comments.